Did you guys see or hear technically the Melania Trump secret recording where supposedly it's supposed to make her seem really like
so juicy.
Bombshell.
So
I listened to it and I didn't understand what was happening.
You didn't hear the bombshell?
What was the scandal?
It's a huge scandal.
I haven't heard it.
I don't know if
I
I'm
haven't
just
heard.
officially waging war against Christmas.
okay. I don't know if I'm just stupid, but it sounded like she was just complaining about how she has to do the White House Christmas party thingy, and then she's also complaining about like the whole DACA, not DACA, but the immigrant kids that are caught up in the thing.
To begin here, it's so Melania's ex-friend, and she also was one of the advisors, like her advisor. She secretly recorded Melania back in 2018.
What kind of friend is that? Sounds like a bitch to me.
Hey,
Right?
Who does that?
I think he's called
like her
everybody a
best
bitch
friend.
today.
Yeah, yes.
Like I'm like your best friend, right? And then like I'm recording the phone call for what purpose?
To use later. You've already decided you're doing it.
That's not a friend, that's a foe. That is a scheming ass bitch, and she shouldn't be called as Melania's friend.
So her name is
Ex-friend now.
Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, and she was a senior advisor for the East Wing. And so she says that she started recording after she had already been accused of some shit. And so this was her way of like protecting herself, is what she's claiming. Okay?
Accused from who?
So she was accused of pocketing money from them. So from the inauguration. So her firm was paid more than $26 million, most of which went to subcontractors. But 1.6 million of that went directly to her business. And on top of that, she personally received $500,000 for her role in the inauguration. She was already going through some shit. She had already left the White House when she had recorded this. So that's the reasoning as to why she recorded it. She also came out with a book called Melania,
Surprise.
where she details her relationship, her friendship with her, and like the falling out.
Books make money though. You know Biden made a fuck ton of money from his book
So did Obama.
after his president's
Dreams from my father.
Yeah.
And Michelle Obama.
They made a ton. I think Biden made his biggest fortune after becoming a vice president, with his book and then touring with the book. Same with Obama though. I think it's a good business.
So she came out with a book.
Monica Lewinsky probably made a ton. How I Sucked Clinton's Dick.
That's what she called it. It was a good title.
Yeah.
It was finally somebody just titled it what it was.
Clinton balls. Oh, it's called Clinton cum because of the dress was. Yeah, remember? Mm-hmm. She framed her dress and she was like, you see the Clinton cum?
That was odd. I was a child when that happened, so I didn't really fully understand it all. But I was like, why would she have a dress with cum on it?
Well, now that you're an adult, you get it though.
Yeah, she's framing it. She's like, this is president.
Do we get it?
That's presidential
Tell
cum.
me the whole thing again.
No, so that's like high quality cum right there.
Wait, so she intentionally saved it?
She was giving a blowjob and then he busted on her like dress and stuff. And then like she's like, see Exhibit A, presidential cum.
You know what people forget about this? Actually, it's in this kind of Star report. She was also diddling his butt with her tongue.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Diddling her butt.
Hey!
The wording in.
It's your rim job, brother.
It says anal copulation or some shit.
No, that's not fun. I like diddling.
Population is tongue? That's what that means?
Clinton is a next level dude.
The idea is that she was tonguing his butthole too. And that was left out of a lot of the reporting.
This was in the Oval Office, like for sure?
Yeah, while he's on the phone with a fucking ambassador.
Or oral office.
Yeah, hell yeah, the oral office. That's sick. That's so sick.
That's nasty. That means he didn't take a shower.
He's the president.
How was it discovered? Like, that part I never understood.
They interviewed everybody. They interviewed her, and so they just wrote everything the fuck down, but it's kind of creepy.
But like, how did it come to light?
Did everyone was like, yeah, she gave him a blowjob.
That came to light, but the other part is in the transcript. You have to read the fucking Star.
No, I mean like just the plain simple fact that she gave him a blowjob. How?
Like, how did it?
So Linda Tripp was a Clinton. She worked in the West Wing. She was confided in by Monica Lewinsky, she told Linda Tripp that I've been sucking Clinton's dick because everyone kind of knew already because she was
Because Clinton's a hoe.
and she was in the West Wing a lot and she was like around him a lot and in his orbit a lot, and so it was kind of like, come on. And then Secret Service knew and all that kind of shit. So
Secret Service probably knows everything because they keep secrets.
I've talked about this before. My uncle is a White House photographer. He had Clinton go up to him one time and say, hey, that chick's pretty cute. Can you get her number? He was wearing a black suit because it was like a black tie event.
Copy that.
And he was an Associated Press photographer.
So he thought he was Secret Service.
He thought he was Secret Service. And then my uncle's just like, oh, I'm not
camera like
I'm not Secret Service.
didn't he have, like,
And then Clinton just like walked away. But yeah, I mean, everyone knew Clinton was skeezing on chicks.
Yikes.
Why is it a mystery that Clinton isn't? I mean, why do people go, oh my God, Clinton is a fucking...
It's not very presidential, especially in the 90s.
No. The point is, like, now, why do people get shocked when they hear, like, Clinton is a dirty dog?
Well, the idea behind it was that because everyone they like to go, well, it was just a blowjob, right? But the idea was that he had been accused of sexual assault by many women, and this provides more credibility to their claims because he has been caught doing something like similar with somebody else, even though it was not. It was mutual.
He was a sexual predator.
But he was using his position of power, obviously, to get Monica Lewinsky to do this.
He was like buddy with Jeffrey Epstein, wasn't he?
Just because he plays the saxophone and he was on The Simpsons, everyone thinks he's all cool and shit. But he was a fucking
Also his
Harvey
voice.
Weinstein.
His voice was really like Rico Suave.
Do you think it's because he was cooler than Harvey Weinstein and not as ugly? People accepted him more?
Of course, he's cooler than fuck.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, he's just a player. And then when you look at Harvey Weinstein, you're like, that guy's disgusting. Ugh, right? So he looks like a gross, fucking nasty sexual predator. Whereas like Clinton is a sexual predator, but then people are kind of looking at him like, oh, that's good old Bill.
True.
Exactly.
Has Hillary ever spoken about this?
Yeah.
What does she say?
She wrote a book about it, and she's
About that?
Wasn't
About
it like
the whole
isn't
thing?
it like
No,
a
it had-
stand by him thing she did afterwards?
She did the Stand By Your Man thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about Melania here. So,
The shit powerful women have to deal with though, right? Isn't that crazy?
When you have to threaten and intimidate all these people who have accused your husband of horrible things, it's terrible.
I'm gonna play a portion of the audio clips that got leaked, or not leaked. She went on to CNN to expose this. Here we go.
They say I'm complicit. I'm the same like him. I support him. I don't say enough. I don't do enough.
No,
Where I am, I'm working like my ass off.
I know.
That Christmas stuff that, who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Yeah, but
Correct.
100%. You have
And
no
then-
choice.
Bombshell.
And then I do it, and I said that I'm working on Christmas, planning for the Christmas, and they said, oh, what about the children, that they were separated? Give me a break. Where they were saying anything when Obama did that?
I know.
I cannot go. I was trying to get the kid reunited with the mom. I didn't have a chance. Needs to go through the process and through the law.
But here's my thing. Hear what you just said. But instead of that, if your messaging, you were so loved.
They would not do the story. We put it out. They would not do the story.
I'm telling
You would not believe it. They would not.
Doesn't this make her look good?
Because
Exactly.
they are not.
That's the
They would not do the
conspiracy.
story because they are against us because they're liberal media. Yeah, if I go to Fox,
But it's on liberal
I
media.
don't want to go to Fox.
I don't want to go to Fox.
Epic last
So
line.
me and Tiff this morning we were talking about it. We're like, what if this is like a double mind fuck? Like, well, not double, like a mind fuck, like reverse psychology. What if she was sent to CNN by Melania and Trump
Because
to spread like whatever news? Like, I don't even know what the fuck they're even talking about here.
Yeah, because
not a
then
bombshell.
I'm gonna
Okay,
play.
this is what I get from that clip, okay? Because I was confused too, because there was a lot of things going on. But now what I get from this clip is, I don't want to do I have to fucking do these presidential wife duties of Christmas parties and shit, and then
No one cares about.
Right, no one cares about, and then they scrutinize me because I'm not doing important shit like saving the kids from the family, and then she follows up with, we tried to reunite them, and they wouldn't air it, the liberal media.
Yeah.
That makes her look good because it's like they did it.
He's like, where were they when Obama did that? Which is when that whole program started.
It started during Obama. That's what blows my mind. Is why does the this camp get in trouble for all of this when it was Obama that did it all?
So the Obama one, according to CNN in this article, which is from CNN, they're saying that when it was Obama doing this, children were separated from their parents only when authorities had concerns for their well-being or could not confirm that the adult was in fact their legal guardian. But apparently under Trump, it's a blanket policy. Like no matter what, they get separated.
What was everyone pissed about though? They were pissed about the photos, and the photos were taken when Obama was president. That's what everyone was running with. Like in every newspaper,
The photos that went
photos of the
viral?
kids in the cages.
Yeah,
that was during Obama.
That didn't happen during Trump.
And so everyone was pissed about that. Yes, there was a change in enforcement. That happened when Trump became president, but he was basically saying, I have to enforce this law. Obama wasn't enforcing the law.
That's how screwed up politics is.
It's emotional. It's all about emotions, man. Everyone, if you can just make an emotional connection with somebody and make them think that Trump put the kids in the cages, Obama didn't want them in the cages, even though they were literally there.
It's because it follows a narrative of Trump hates Mexicans.
Right.
When he was really talking about MS-13, not Mexicans.
Salvadorians.
He was talking about the gang because, okay,
God, Trump, get it right. Salvadorians.
So the thing is, the journalist asked him about MS-13, the gang, right? And then so when he responded, he was talking about, yeah, they don't bring the best people out here. They bring, rapists, killers, and murderers. Right?
Well, he also said and some I assume are good people afterward, which they always cut off on shows like that.
Right. So then they took that clip and then they framed it where he's talking about he hates Mexicans. I thought the same thing too until I watched the whole thing and I saw that the journalist was asking about what are you going to do about MS-13 and then the gang problem. And I was like, holy crap. Now all of us think that he just hates Mexicans. And then if you see this, it looks like, oh fuck, he threw Mexican kids in cages.
If you want the ultimate mindfuck, look up the Charlottesville video that everyone talks about all the time, where they say he talked about good people on both sides. If you look like 2 sentences down, he says, I'm not talking about the white supremacists or the white nationalists. They should be totally condemned. It's in the same fucking...
I never heard that part.
Because the news didn't show it.
On purpose.
Yeah.
But why then in the debate he had a chance?
Because he's so stupid. That's why.
Why did he not do that?
We all know that.
He had a chance to clear it up.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, he could still be a racist.
A week prior to that, he declared the KKK a terrorist organization.
In Congress.
Right. So that's what's so wild about this shit is like, yeah, he is so stupid. He can't even communicate his own policy that he did a fucking week prior. Like,
I honestly believe that he's a fucking moron and he can't articulate at all. But what blows my mind is how the media manipulates all of this so much to the point where it's like, holy crap, like they're just lying outright.
if they were like, yo, here's where Trump is fucking up, and they just reported real shit and not this bullshit where they give you something that is taken out of context or is lies, we would all be better off, because then more of us would trust the media. Right now, media trust.
I don't trust it at all.
In the toilet because of shit like this.
Do you have any like media sources that you feel is like the most trustworthy?
What do you guys-
I like The Hill, but dude, you have to really pick and choose like when you're reading all this shit. You just have to, because okay, for example, and I was just saying this to a buddy the other day. Remember when the media hates Trump 24/7, 365, right? But the day that the media gave Trump credit was when he bombed that site, the missile site in, I think it was Syria, right? He bombed this place, and then everyone on every channel said the same thing. They all said, this is the night when Trump became president. It's like creepy. It's like, wait, so when he's warmongering, that's when you guys give him credit. But when he wants to pull troops out, that's when you guys take the biggest shits on him and say all the generals don't trust him and all this kind of shit. So that's what scares me, is that I know Raytheon and all those guys, the big defense contractors, they're in charge. Trump calls it out, but he's still owned by them, still gets military budgets approved for them. So it's the weirdest fucking mixed messaging ever.
True. I think bottom line is, if you want the real news, you have to go backstory and backstory and backstory and backstory and understand all the different avenues of backstories to understand what the current situation is, which most people don't have the time, or for me, I don't even have the capacity to understand everything to its fullest extent.
But like Joe was saying,
But you go mainstream though. Mainstream is all emotional, and it's easy to understand emotion, you know. And I think that's the kind of the discrepancy here.
I thought he blatantly was saying Mexicans come in and they're rapists.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
That's what I thought too, right? And then I was reading, and people were like, "No, watch the whole thing, watch the whole thing." And then I watched the whole thing, and then it started with the journalist saying like, and then they were talking about MS-13, the gang, back and forth, and it went, and then I saw the whole part, and I was like, oh fuck.
And then is that why after he said that, he came out with his fucking Taco Tuesday, the Taco Bowl photo? It's like, right, Mexicans? Right?
the best. The best.
But anyway, back to this Melania thing. So it's just really interesting because I heard the whole thing with Anderson Cooper and the interview that she did, which I was gonna play you guys a clip, but now
Conspiracy, yo.
But like the entire time though, I'm like, so this is supposed to make her look bad? I don't get it. Like, where is the bad? Like the really bad.
It makes her look really human, is what it does.
I don't know. I was confused.
Like she has.
And then also the best friend, the Stephanie or the former friend, her being interviewed by Anderson. If you listen to what she's saying, she's backing her up the whole time.
What makes her sound bad though is talking about kids in cages and then being like, what the fuck? I gotta do this Christmas shit. It sucks. Like that's what I think makes her sound bad.
Well, I feel like from the way I understood it, it was kind of like, why am I doing, like, you guys have me doing this Christmas shit that I'm forced to do, and fine, I'm fucking doing it. And as I'm doing this shit that I don't even, like, no one cares about, and then you're asking me this stuff like, why aren't you doing anything about the kids? When I did go to the border, and no other first lady has gone to the border, and I did.
And they changed the policy.
And then and then all that stuff, and then, so I think the give me a fucking break part is for that, where it's like.
She's doing the stuff that she's supposed to, but they're not airing it in liberal media is what she's saying. She's like, it's not fair that I'm actually doing this shit.
And then you're coming at me and asking me why am I not.
Yeah, and then she goes, we give them the material, they don't want to fucking air it. So I was like, well, I was under the impression that she's not doing anything. She's just being pretty model wife, and she's doing stupid shit and copying speeches. That's what I thought she was doing.
But if her husband bombed Assad tomorrow, the media would be coming all over him. And that's where I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but there's a corporatist thing going on with the war media and the elites who own our press, 5 companies who own our press, and it's all tied together. So all the generals we have in the Joint Chiefs, when they leave those posts, they go work for defense contractors. It's a circular fucking firing squad of fucked for the rest of us.